All right.
It's Saturday.
It's Saturday. What's going on?
Same thing, man. The wind is blowing and it's looking pretty scary outside right now. But
Is that right?
yeah, it was started raining right now. So
Oh, geez. Yeah, it was a beautiful day today. I just came back from a bike ride, got some sun, just loving it. It was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, I
Good to
really
see.
I really enjoy that too. I like bike riding. I do that every single morning, and it's just part of my morning ritual that I like to do.
Yeah, no,
I know
same
that
here.
we were just talking about coffee, and like I said, I have to have my cup of coffee before I start anything else. If I don't, it's not a good start to the day. It's just part of who I am, part of my morning ritual that I need to have every single morning. So
Yeah, I've lately started doing it before the bike ride, and it's great. I just get that big gust of energy and listen to my podcast, and I'm just enjoying nature, enjoying the trees, and I just take those little things in life, and it just makes me just so grateful. I love bike riding, especially when there's beautiful scenery around and beautiful weather around. It's awesome. It's just
yeah, me too.
one of
Call
my
me,
things in life that I appreciate the most.
call me. I mean, call me weird or whatever, but I'll go on my bike ride, right? And I will go around I will go around the neighborhood, or I'll probably go to like the nearest park, and I'll just go to the trails. I will literally stop near a trail and go near a tree and start breathing next to the tree.
Is that right?
Because I don't know if you know it, but if you breathe next to a tree, that's just pure oxygen.
Oh, yeah, I've heard something about that actually.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pure oxygen. You're
yeah,
breathing clean, pure oxygen.
interesting.
That's what I
Okay,
said when I first heard it. I was like, okay, cool. So then I would just stop I would just stop I would just stop where I'm at and just go
yeah.
to the nearest tree and just start like getting the shade and just start breathing in and just taking deep breaths, and it feels kind of good. It's kind of like
That's
it's kind of liberating.
That's actually really interesting. It kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of the this area in Colombia where I was at this past January, and my brother, his wife, and our family and everything. She showed us this area in Colombia where they had this like row of trees, and in order to kind of get onto it, you got to take off your shoes and ground your feet into the sand and the soil, and just kind of become one with nature and kind of connect a little bit. And when you get close and are about to hug this tree or touch this tree, you got to kind of think of all the things that you want to release. It's kind of like releasing all of your negativity and hugging this tree and just like absorbing it. And then it just kind of releases all of it. That's what we were told. Yeah. And it was pretty neat. It was actually pretty powerful. You walk away and you just felt lighter. You felt, um, you felt just cleaner, just totally, rejuvenated, if you will.
Yeah.
Kind of
It's
neat.
it's
So
one of those what do you call uh superstitions that people believe in, but sometimes it could be something spiritual, it could be something, something sacred, something historical that people thrive on in certain countries, and
yeah,
that's where they go for peace or whatever they're, whenever
it's
they want
well
to feel
known.
good
Yeah.
about themselves. Yeah, I know that when I go on my travels, I know that Costa Rica is, when it comes to nature,
Oh, I love Costa Rica.
Costa Rica is gorgeous, man.
Love
It's
Costa Rica. Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful. People are very genuine. Their
Solid.
culture is, yeah, great people.
Yeah.
The people are very, very nice. They welcome you.
Very
Um,
happy.
yeah, very happy.
Yeah.
Yes, very, very
Very
happy.
present.
Totally different
Yeah.
from where we live. But yeah, they're very calm. They're not. It's not the fast life where we're used to that. Depending on where you live, but it's depending on people are not as fast. If you don't live that fast life, in
No, they're
other
very
words.
present. They're very calm and very present in the moment, I find, and their
Yeah.
culture was just so, welcoming and open arms to everyone there. And it was awesome. I felt that Costa Rica was probably right up there with number one destination I've been to.
Where did you go?
Liberia, I think, and there's a few
Liberia?
other places. I cannot remember the names, but we went to a few different
You
places there.
landed, but you landed in San Jose, obviously.
Yes.
And I landed in San Jose, and then I went to this place called Monteverde.
Okay.
So it's basically it's a town in the mountains.
Oh,
which is pretty weird. People were not very nice there.
is that right?
Yeah, they were not. They're not. They weren't pretty nice. But
We
if you
did
went to
this.
the city, if you went down to the city by San Jose, then they were like, great, yeah. I mean, they were super,
Really?
super nice. Yeah, super nice. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess you got some bad apples in every spot. I guess
Just
the yin and
everywhere you go, you're gonna have bad
yin
apples.
and the yang.
Exactly, man. But
Yeah.
anyways, I guess on to today's topic is gonna be about personal discipline. Discipline
Yeah. Self discipline.
in your life.
Yeah.
What
And
what would you say is self discipline in your standpoint?
it's doing something that you know you got to do and doing it anyway, doing something you don't want to do, or some days you don't feel like doing it, and just persevering through the times when you don't want to do it. That could be exercise, that could be going to work, that could be just taking the trash out and just avoiding procrastination. It's just doing something that is going to help you accomplish things for the day, for the week, for the month, for the whatever your goals are. It's really just sticking to that plan, no matter what, and finding yourself in a place where you're going to be just feeling better that you've done it. It's a matter of just sticking to it.
Yeah.
There's lots of times I don't feel like going to work out. I mean, there's a good 80% of the time. Sometimes I don't feel like it. Sometimes I just want to be lazy. But it's doing something that you don't want to do anyway. So
Yeah. I mean, I think we're all as an adult. I guess we're all known to have our own type of discipline.
yeah,
Some people like doing certain things that you know that makes them happy or just makes them feel that they're comfortable. As far as discipline, I mean, it could be different for with so many things because there's people that don't even have that discipline. They just live that everyday lifestyle where they just wake up, go to work, come home, eat dinner,
like a robot.
and like a robot, and do it all over again.
Yeah,
Now, to some, that might make them happy. That might
yeah,
make them satisfied.
for sure.
That might be the life that they want to live. Now, for others, you're gonna have people who have certain morning rituals where they work out. They have that cup of coffee or that tea
Yeah,
that we're used to, but they go work out, and then when they come work out, they do work. They work from home. They have their business, or they have certain things that they do, yoga, whatever the case is. You know, something that makes them happy and something that's gonna get them somewhere, and being disciplined about it, and just making it a life goal. I know that could be confusing for some people, but having that self-discipline just allows a person to grow, just makes them feel a lot better about themselves. Because I know that the last podcast that we did was about self-love.
yeah,
Well, once you have self-love, discipline comes with that.
absolutely. The two are tied together for sure on that. It's really it can be many different things for many different people. Going to work, even though you hate your job, but you know what, you're going to do it with a smile, and you're going to be your best self, and give it 100%. It's a matter of just giving it your all anyway, and just finding that why, finding what's important to you, finding the valid end result.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, it could be many things for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Um, but as far as coming from my own perspective, and I know that you're giving everybody your perspective on how you run your life and how you live on a daily basis. Discipline is just part of our routine every single day because we want to grow as individuals. We want to be better individuals. We want to be better than who we were in the past. And that's something that people don't really understand from some of the people I spoke to about discipline. Because sometimes I would ask somebody, what's your discipline? What's your discipline? What's your definition about discipline? And some people get that confused with like, oh, being disciplined as in like disciplining my kids, uh, being disciplined in life in general. I'm like, no, I'm talking about interpersonal discipline.
Right.
What are you doing for yourself that you have to force yourself to do something?
Yeah,
Force
like
yourself to do
what is
something
your
that's going to make you grow as an individual, as in like that's if it's business or if it's to learn how to ride a bike better.
Yeah.
I'm going to wake up every single morning and ride my bike every single day until I get better.
Like, what is your must? What is your
I
like
am not going to
absolute
take, I'm
must?
not going to take a day off until I'm a perfectionist at riding my bike. And that's goal oriented to, I want to do
Yeah.
cross training. I want to go long distance.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing about going around the neighborhood, going on the trails and just riding your bike for 1 hour, and then that's it. You got your exercise for the day. That's it. Sometimes that's all you need to get some exercise in. But people who are motivated or want to motivate themselves to do more out of life, to get more out of it, then self-discipline will have to come in to force yourself to grow as an individual.
I guess it's really dependent on the person, the individual who's looking at to get better at something. You know, how big is your why? How bad do you want to change? How big is that a must for you? Depending on the goal. If it's something that, hey, you know what, it's been a long time since I've gone on that bike ride, or you know what, I'm going to commit to cleaning up my yard this weekend. I'm going to go commit to raking up the leaves. You know, it's like you've planned that out. It's really just, it's like, how big of a must is that for you to get that done? It really depends on that person's drive and why, really.
And being lazy, there's a lot of laziness going on, man. A lot of laziness, that's a killer. Being comfortable,
That's the hard part. Yeah.
being around your comfort zone is a killer. Huge
Yeah.
killer. You know? And I know
Yeah.
for a fact I was one of them. I was so there was times when I was so comfortable in my everyday lifestyle, and it's just doing the same thing over and over and over again, and
Yeah.
going partying and going to bars or just hanging out with friends that were not going to get me anywhere, and it's just doing the same thing over and over again. Um, but I really believe in that self discipline of really just going for what you really want to do, going for what's going to make a difference, going what's going to make you happy. If it, I mean, like I said, not everybody knows right away what they want to do in life. Sometimes it takes a long time, but
Yeah.
once you find it, you can't stop. You know what I mean? Once you find it, you can't stop. Like I've had goals throughout my whole life. I just never knew where. I just really never knew how to start. Um, but I know that I would never forget in my life when I always decided, like, I can't wait until I graduate college. I've always wanted to graduate college. I've always wanted to graduate college, only because it was really forced upon for my family. It was always about
Hmm.
going
It
to
was
college
expected.
and graduating, get the job that
Yeah.
you want.
It was
And
expected.
I've always wanted to, like, just graduate college. And long story short, when I was going through the process, I knew that in order for me to graduate, in order for me to walk that aisle to get my diploma, I knew that I had to I had to push myself to the limit. Sometimes it could be sleepless nights. Sometimes it could be work. It could be going from a 9 to 5. After I was done at work, I would go straight to school to go for my
Oh,
next class. It was a struggle. It was a struggle.
yeah,
I
I
pushed
hear you.
myself to the limit that I know that I never pushed myself before. It was probably, I would say, depression, anxiety, everything you name it. It was going through me, but I had to. You had to fight through it. That's just an example for discipline,
Yeah,
self
because you've got to
discipline.
think of that end result. Yeah, a school. I'm glad you brought that up. A school was such a big thing for me when it came to self discipline and studying, especially studying the courses that I didn't really find interesting, or I didn't find remotely fun, or anything that, I really had to work harder at those courses and discipline myself and study on the material I found absolutely boring, dreadful, and just felt no need for even a part of the curriculum. I had to work extra hard and discipline myself because I wanted that piece of paper so bad,
Yeah.
and it was expected of me to graduate. And I was like, I got to do this. Like,
In
this
the
is
back,
my must.
there was, let me tell you, right or wrong. Ask me this, right or wrong.
Sucked.
There was something in the side of your on the side of your head
Yeah.
saying, if I don't finish this, I'm going to consider myself a failure.
Yes. That too. It was a
It
fear of
was the
failure.
fear of failing. Once you get to
Yeah.
that point, once you're trying to climb up on that mountain and you're tired, you're crying, your hands are bloody, you're almost paralyzed. You can't, you think that this is it. I can't go on.
Yeah.
On the back of your mind, you know for a fact that if you go back down, you're going
It's
to
going to
consider
feel a
yourself a
lot
failure.
worse.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's just that's just, I was just trying to paint a picture. I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, it totally does. Yeah. Because I mean, people will do more. It's like Tony Robbins says, people will do more to avoid pain than they will to gain pleasure. So when you attribute studying and finishing school and all those things that you really don't want to do, you attribute that with pain, right?
absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
and you're going to procrastinate, you're going to do some things that just when you don't feel like doing it, just give in to the pleasure instead of giving into the pain first to get to that pleasure down at the end result kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So
And like I said, I
that
mean,
stood out to me.
oh, absolutely. And self-discipline is, I mean, self-discipline needs to be a part of your life, because the self-discipline is just going to make you grow as an individual. And that could be in anything. It could be from baking a cake for
Yeah.
all we know. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, you want to be the best baker, you want to be the best cook, you want to be the best racer, you want to be the best whatever.
Yeah.
Self-discipline is always has to be in yourself. And I believe everybody has self-discipline. It's just people, I think they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to use your inner powers. Everybody has a special skill. Everybody has a power. Everybody has a calling. Now, a lot of people don't use that special power that you have because they just think that, oh, well, I have to work a 9 to 5 because that's how I was raised to be. That's what I was told to do. So I'm just going to live my life normally because that's all I really know.
Right.
But you really don't really, you have to really search for that inner power to really understand what you can do as an individual. You know what I mean?
Oh
So
no,
I could,
100%. Yeah,
I
it's
was
really
going
a
a little
matter
I was going a little bit deep into that. I know that sounds a little bit confusing,
of
but it's just finding that
it
niche,
makes sense though.
finding that talent, finding that passion, and
And
watch
finding,
everything change. You know, that's how.
yeah, because you found your why. At the end of this, you're like, I want to graduate. I don't want to come back down the rabbit hole here. And I don't want to feel like a failure, because it's that fear of failure that can be a motivating factor for you in the right positive mind.
Right.
If
And
you have
that,
that fear of failure and you turn that around and use that as a self-discipline tool, it's like, I am not going to fail. I'm going to get this done. I am going to graduate. I am going to ace that exam. And these were things that, can kind of go through your head. And if you stay in a positive peak state, then you're going to find yourself that the self-discipline part is going to be a lot easier, because you're saying, okay, if I don't do this, what is the pain going to be? I'm going to fail this class, which means I'm going to have to repeat it, which means I won't graduate in time, and this, and that. At least in my experience, that was kind of what was going through my head. If I didn't feel like doing something, or I wanted to go hang out with friends on the weekend and go party or do something, I had to make a decision. I had to really kind of zero in and say, no, I got to buckle down this weekend. I can't go camping this weekend. I can't. You kind of have to, you really got to sacrifice
right.
and look at the end result and see what's more important. What are the opportunity costs involved in this decision?
Right.
Right.
That it's just, what's the cost exactly? Um, but I know that like I said, people have, everybody has their own criteria. Everybody has their own meaning. Um, but discipline just makes you, I believe that discipline just makes you a better person,
Yeah.
because you're actually focused on something. You're actually focused on your target. You're focused on something you want to achieve.
Yeah. Because it
So
gives
you
you
wake up
something to work towards.
it gives you something, exactly. It gives you something to look forward to. It makes you something that you need to do. Something that you need to do.
Yeah.
Not that you have to.
It's a
Working
must.
working a job, paying the bills is something you have to do. I believe that when it comes to discipline, you need to want to do it. You have to do it.
Yeah.
You
It's your
want to,
must, your why.
exactly, you need
Yeah.
to want to do it,
Yeah.
and we've all been there. I mean, I'll go to work, I have to pay the bills because I have to do it. You have to make a living somehow.
Yeah. It's kind of a must.
But that discipline every single morning to work out, get my mind right, then get on my computer, start doing my content, start spreading some positivity, getting some clients,
Yeah.
coaching. And that is my passion. That is my discipline. I need to put my mind in that mindset of coaching.
Exactly. And there's some days, exactly what you said. And there's some days I don't feel like doing it. Some days I don't feel like um, putting out content, but I remind myself that it's about helping others and helping people in a point in their life, or help them kind of resonate with something. And that's going to be a transition or an aha moment for them. I remind myself it's about them. It's not about me. It's really about helping others. And that's why I do it. That's why I love to do it. So it's easy when I think of it that way. And that's why I just get into a routine. I don't even think about it anymore. I just do it now,
Oh,
you know?
absolutely. Yeah, exactly. And it's just part, and you wake up every morning knowing, okay, I got to get this done. I got to get this thing done. I got to get
Yeah,
that thing done. And it's just a habit that you create
exactly.
that
Doesn't even feel like
it just
work
keeps your,
anymore.
exactly. It just keeps your, it's just that engine in your mind that just keeps on going, that you need to finish certain things.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about you, but I kind of like, ever since I've had my self-discipline and certain things that I want to get done, my goals in life that I want to achieve. I want to, you know, I want to make an impact in I want to make an impact in people's lives, but I want to make an impact on the stuff that I'm doing with coaching. I see things so differently. Like I feel like if I go to a bar, if I go watch a movie, or if I go walk across the street talking on the phone with somebody about gossiping, I feel like I'm wasting my time.
It is.
I'm
Yeah, it
wasting
is
my
a waste
time.
of time.
My discipline is not there. My discipline is on pause. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like my discipline,
totally.
I'm stopping myself from continuing my process.
Well, gossiping is meaningless conversation and meaningless energy that you're sending out into the universe. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for your growth, and it's definitely not going to help your self discipline if you're trying to get away from that. Um, it's definitely something you want to kind of steer clear of, and at least be consciously aware of, and get into the habit of not doing. So then you subconsciously just don't even think about it anymore, and it becomes a routine, a habit to not engage in those kind of meaningless conversations that aren't going to help you grow or benefit anybody else, right? So it's definitely something that it does require self-discipline. It definitely,
Yeah.
and then eventually till you work that way
Put,
into that point.
it's like putting your insecurities aside.
Exactly.
Stop your insecurities. If someone's bothering you, or someone you hear gossip, walk away. Just don't even worry about that, because
Yeah, just
that's one thing that's going to stop your discipline. That's one thing that's just going to it's going to stop you from being disciplined and of improving yourself in whatever it is you're doing. Stay
yeah,
focused on the track. Stay focused on that one end game. Stay focused on the finish line.
yeah.
Because the moment you slack off, the moment you start thinking about this, the moment you stop doing it, your mind is just going to go back to that comfort zone, and there you go. And then
And back to the old ways.
it's just the prime example of law of attraction.
Exactly.
Same example of law
You
of attraction.
attract what you become.
Mm-hmm. You,
You
you
know.
you put your mindset on something that you want to get done.
Yeah.
What you believe is what will happen. But the
You
moment you
attract.
stop believing, no one's going to do it for you.
Yeah.
Remember that. You have to implement. I implement that in my mind every single day. No one's going to do it for me. I have to do it for myself.
Yeah. You really kind of have to really weigh out the again, tuning out a lot of the negativity, the things, the distractions, the people that the gossip, the social media gossipers, or the negative naysayers and things like that. Like social media is a
Yeah.
big one. If you
Yeah.
can tune out people that are kind of not contributing to your growth and not contributing to your self-discipline, so you can get things that you want to do done, it's just time. It's time to eliminate those people from your life altogether. It's
Mm-hmm.
just and eliminate the distractions. But you
Yeah.
hold the key. You hold the button to remove and to mute or whatever the case may be that you need to do, whether it be on social media, whether it be in your inner circle, whether if you need to study and shut your phone off and read your book, or you want to go exercise and eliminate things. If it's something that you got to do like that, then take whatever extra measures that you need to do to kind of put that plan into action. Those things definitely help. And it's really all depend. It's about you. It's about your goals, and nobody's going to accomplish it but you at the end of the day. So you
Absolutely.
have to get to a place where you're like, okay, you know what? This is what I want. and this is where I'm going to be, and I'm going to take these steps to get there. And 21 days it takes for a successful habit to become a regular habit.
Yeah.
And you can push through it for 21 days, whatever the case may be, whether it's, what we just mentioned, all those things.
Mm-hmm.
And then it becomes normal. Then it becomes your subconscious. It will be a lot easier to do.
Absolutely. And honestly, truthfully, and like we mentioned before, we're in unprecedented times where this is a great time to really, really self-reflect on who we are as individuals.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like, I know here in this, with everything going on, I mean, there's just so much drama going on. I mean, at least here in the States, obviously with the current issues that
I've heard.
Yeah,
I've heard of it, and I just try not to acknowledge it.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. It's just gonna. I mean, like I said, it's unfortunate with everything that's happening.
Because what everything going on, like what you see and what you observe, you participate in. It's like I've mentioned before.
Yep.
You read.
That's a good point. That's a really, really good point.
Yeah, what you continuously feed your mind and reading all this negativity and all that and all the drama and all the hate and all the violence and negativity. Well, guess what? Your brain's going to be recirculating that. It's like a recording device that your brain.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You see negative. You hear, you see it. Your mind is just gonna start thinking negative thoughts, and it's just that demon inside. It's just saying like, hey, you know what? It's okay. This is what we're going through. You got to deal with it. No, it's not.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You design your own destiny. You're in charge of who you are. You're in charge of what you do. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That even goes, like I said, that even goes for the youth as well. That goes for teens. A lot of times they're under a lot of pressure. They're under peer pressure. They want to follow other people. They want to, you have to teach them how to be leaders. So that's the whole point of being disciplined. Being disciplined with what you need to do instead of being followers. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely,
definitely.
And your subconscious mind is like 100 times more powerful than your conscious mind. The things that you are consciously aware of. So to reprogram your subconscious mind takes discipline, takes unlearning certain things, certain habits, certain behaviors, certain things that you are feeding it. In order to kind of almost, I want to say trick it, but it's almost like just kind of a reprogramming tool. And so you can vibrate onto that frequency that you're looking to, it's like adjusting a radio, the frequencies. When you're not on the right station, what happens?
Static.
Distortion, right? Yeah. Until you get onto that same frequency.
Man, you're going old school, man.
Yeah, we're going old school here, but I like to describe things with pictures in my hands.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
It works for me. But yeah, like until you kind of get onto that reprogramming and discipline and making things habit, then yeah, like that's what it takes. It's a massive action effort on your own part.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's just finding it's just finding your right path, man. It's finding the right path that you need to do and having that mental discipline to really do it. And once you have that, you don't need anybody to really tell you what to do. Now it's good to get, you ever heard of constructive criticism? Oh yeah. A lot of people take that the wrong way. A lot of people don't like to be told what to do.
Yeah.
But if a person who's wiser, a person that, for example, a person that you look up to, a person that you obviously is better than you, but you want to learn from their tactics. You want to learn how they think. You want to learn the things they do.
Like a mentor or a coach. Like a mentor or a coach.
Exactly, a mentor or a coach. Exactly. So if that person is going to advise you, they want to give you tips. They want to give you advice on how to do certain things, on how to approach things, on what to do.
Yeah.
A person who has discipline, a person who has ambition is going to take that as fuel to keep going forward and to keep growing as an individual.
100%. And that's a student mentality. That's a student being open and willing to listen and learn. When you just said, reminding me of Conor McGregor. McGregor is one of the greatest MMA fighters that we know around in our time right now. Conor McGregor is a great fighter. His discipline is every time I go into training, I show up as a white belt. You know what I mean? Like, I'm willing to learn something new that I haven't learned from my master, even though he's won countless times and he's, you know, been paid countless amount of money, and he's known as one of the best fighters in the whole MMA history.
Right.
But he's still, when he goes into each training session, he goes in as a white belt, eager to learn, as if it's his first day. And that really kind of stood out to me, as far as absorbing and learning, and we don't know it all. Even when we think we do, we don't. You don't know what you don't know. So.
No, you're absolutely right. You don't know what you don't know, and sometimes you have to keep your mind going. Learn something new every single day. That
Yeah,
just, like I said,
exactly.
that's another way of putting fuel into your body and putting fuel into your mind.
Yeah.
Learning something every single day, and then once you learn that certain topic, or once you learn that certain thing, you will never forget it. It's always going to stick. It's always going to be stuck in your mind.
Yeah. Knowledge is potential power. I don't want to say it's power, because it's only knowledge is only potential power until it's applied.
Yeah, and people, and another thing too, I wanted to mention is that having self-discipline just shows respect from others.
Exactly.
Granted, you don't want to be a follower. You just want to be a leader in your own in your own way, in your own life. Everybody's different, but
Yeah.
it just shows respect from others. People actually have more respect for you. The fact that you're disciplined, that you're goal oriented, you have goals that you want to get done, and you're going to do it, and that shows a lot of gratitude. That shows a lot of respect from others. And some people take that for granted. Some people want the respect. They force respect on themselves, and it just doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't work that way.
It just doesn't work that way at all. And it just pushes you as an individual away. It pushes people away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can't, like, are you really gonna stop talking to me and try to get in contact with, like, for example, Conor McGregor? Do you honestly think that Conor McGregor is gonna listen to you?
Yeah.
First of all, Conor McGregor in his stature, he wants to find out, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Who the hell is Mike? Who is this guy telling me what to do? Now, if you come from a humble background, if you come from a humble standpoint, and talk to him, and tell him what you're doing, tell him what you're up to, and tell him what you want to do, you follow McGregor.
Yeah.
You want to tell Conor McGregor, man, you know what? I really admire you. I really admire your work. How do you do certain things? How do you get to that mindset of waking up every single morning at 4:00 in the morning, going out for a 5-mile jog, and then when you come back, you eat, you just rest for about an hour or two, then you go back to the gym and you work out some more? What's that drive? What keeps you going every single day?
That's some good discipline.
You know what I mean? That is some crazy. I mean, you want to get that insight about somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You want to kind of open your mind, and not you want to make sure that your cup is not always full.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Exactly.
You can't learn anything new if you feel that your cup is always full. You always want to make sure that it's kind of, it's open to learning more. It's always open to learning new ideas, new ways, new discipline. Even when you have reached Conor McGregor level status, I love the mindset he has with that. I always go into each training session at the dojo as a white belt. That's a good self-discipline mindset to have.
Because exactly, you could be a black belt, you could be a black belt, but then you can go back to being a white belt, and there's certain things about white belt that you didn't know. There were certain maneuvers, there were certain tricks, there were certain mind control things that you didn't learn before. Now you just learned it from a white belt. Now you went back to the fundamentals to find out how you did it.
Fundamentals, exactly. Because I mean, who's to say in his next fight, if he doesn't have that mindset, he could just easily get his ass kicked just from one slip or one wrong move he's not familiar with.
Exactly.
Or didn't study, or didn't figure out how this guy, his strengths and weaknesses and all that stuff. Like, I mean, it's a matter of really just self-discovery.
Yeah, and exactly. And speaking of sports, I mean, I'm a 90s baby, and I grew up with the Chicago Bulls. I grew up watching Michael Jordan.
Love the Bulls.
Right. So I grew up watching the Bulls religiously.
Yeah, same here.
And now this whole documentary about The Last Dance that everybody's talking about, right?
Yeah.
It talks about the mindset of Michael Jordan. It talks about the mindset of Phil Jackson. It talks about the discipline that the team had because of one person, Michael Jordan.
Unbelievable discipline he had.
The exactly. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
discipline that this man put on everybody else to improve. Why do you think they won 6 championships? From the discipline of everybody else. People were scared. I remember vividly. People were scared to go play the Bulls. People didn't want to play the Bulls because they knew that if Michael Jordan was in the league, they were going to continue winning championships.
He just dominated.
With no question. Exactly.
Yeah. He just totally took it to a whole new level and just dominated everybody.
Yeah. And that is a great example of the mindset of a legend. That's just the discipline that you just, it's almost like it can't be taught.
It can't be, yeah.
It could be learned, and you can develop a discipline that could get you somewhere. Yeah. But it's just one of those things that you just really can't. It just has to come with it from within, and it's just one of those crazy skills that someone has. You know, just have that competitor discipline to improve as a person, to have a legacy. You want to leave a legacy.
And it was a matter of for Jordan too. What's interesting about that was his motivational factor was, I think, was in high school when his coach kicked him off, or he got cut from the team, and that was it. He went home, and because he was told it was not your sport. So what did he do? He went and got up every day earlier, trained, started lifting weights, and started, training his ass off because he was told he sucked, and it was something that he was devastated by that, and he just put himself into a whole new self-discipline and said, no way am I going to accept that. And the rest is history. I mean, look at he's still, nobody has beaten his record or even come close yet.
Nope. But yeah, man, that's what discipline's all about.
Yeah.
So whoever is listening to this, hope you get some insight. Discipline. Have your own discipline. Create it
yourself. Yeah.
So yeah, man. Yeah, I guess we're gonna wrap it up there. Right. But we're gonna, like I said, I know that we mentioned in the past 2 podcasts, we're still developing that webinar. So stay tuned for that, and
sure.
Hopefully that you can follow us and join in, and we can discuss what we're up to, and discuss some other stuff too as well, and get to know each other. So look forward to it.
Look forward to it. Look forward to seeing you all there. It'll be an interesting Q&A type session there for everybody who's kind of interested and looking to improve certain areas of themselves or just spark some interest. So
I totally agree. Sorry, kind of paused there. I thought you weren't done yet.
I was like, did you hear that?
That was weird. Yeah, I was like, yeah, are you done yet or not? But yeah, man. So I guess that's it. So I guess we'll be in contact, Mike, and stay safe up there in Alberta, Canada.
Sounds good, man. Enjoy the wind today.
Yeah, man. It's like black outside. It was like a rainstorm while we were talking. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
It's pretty bad, but yeah, man. Well, I guess we'll talk soon, and it was great talking again.
All right, sounds good, man. We'll talk soon.
Awesome.
Okay, have a good night.
Later.
Peace.